everyone getting written off and us being the worst England team or whatever, backs against the wall. We went out there, all the media were giving it big licks, weren't they? I think to just do it in their backyard just adds a bit of oomph to it.
Hello everybody and welcome to Hits Different. We are speaking to two rugby superstars from across the globe. We're going into the Wallabies legend Matt Giteau, and also we've got him in the studio. He's lightning quick. Anthony Watson is here, everybody. Anthony, great to have you here. And so we were recording Hits Different at your first rugby home, Effingham and Leatherhead Rugby Club. You are an Eagle.
I am. Technically, this is where it all started, mate. So I remember being down there when I was like 4 or 5. My older brother started playing here. I think my parents just used it as an excuse to, one goes, get rid of the other one.
Smart.
So I remember being out there playing tag and that. And this is where I kind of fell in love with it, I guess, a little bit.
Awesome.
Dabbled in football a bit, as you did, So we're all just failed footballers, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Tone, you are like ridiculously quick, like a freak athletically. Who's the fastest or who's the quickest player you've ever faced?
I think
because rugby quick's different to sprint quick, isn't it?
Definitely.
Just thinking that. Answer both.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think out and out speed, Johnny May.
Yeah.
Just used to see him when he does kick sprints in England training. And he always goes like 15, 20 metres past where he needed to go just to get that top speed. And then he looks at the stats at the end of training and he's flying. But then I think rugby speed is probably someone like Wadey.
Yeah.
When he breaks the line, it's over, and he just goes around people and it makes it look so easy. So I'd say he's got different level rugby speed.
Yeah.
And he's still doing it now. Fair play to him.
He is
You're in those positions where like it's my worst nightmare. You get into wide channels. You have to do it a little bit as well at 9, don't you? Sweep into those wide channels.
Try to do it
as little as possible these days.
In behind the ruck these days.
Just march to the troops. Just
put them in positions.
Fold. And you get out there, right, and you see who's in front of you. I'm going to give you 2, but you can come up with your own as well. You're 5 metres out from your own line. Would you prefer to try and defend Big Dewey one-on-one, John van der Merwe, or would you prefer to defend Colby one-on-one?
I would prefer to defend Dewey. Which is tough because Dewey...
Prefer to get run through than stepped.
Yeah, definitely, because there's nothing worse than going towards the sideline. You're facing the crowd as you've been stepped and they're all, that's not the one, mate. And I think Colby is just, his feet are different. Like how quickly he can do it. And he's strong as well. Like he can run over people as well. So like you've got to be on your AA game against Colby. Not to say you do or you don't, but I think that close to the line, the chances of you getting a dominant tackle on him are slim to none.
What about you?
Oh, mate, any of them. Hate it all. Especially this guy. This guy's one of them.
I was thinking that.
He can bump, or he can fend, or he can make you look stupid. My favourite players, and I'll always... The big lads, obviously, they're hard to defend, but the ones like a Jason Robinson who... You don't know which way they're going to go. A Cheslin Colby, you don't know which way they're going to go. Tone, when he's stepping, like his hair's flopping. Normally the old hair was flopping around. You don't know which way they're going to go, and they're so quick. And these lads now can step, and they're like 3 metres away from you with one step. Colby's trying the World Cup final in 2019. Like, no one really talks about how amazing that finish was.
Right, we are delighted to be joined in Hits Different by one of the greatest players to ever play the game. One of my favourite players growing up. I say that because he's not that much older than me, but Matt Giteau joins us. Matt, what a legend. Lovely to see you, mate.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be on here.
This week is a big one. It's England-Australia at the Allianz Stadium, the newly named Allianz Stadium. You've had some unbelievable times in that famous Australian shirt. What are your memories of playing against England? Both mainly good, I suppose, but good and bad.
Bad. Well, I lost every time in the World Cup to Johnny, which stings me because that bloke, obviously playing with him, and he's such a nice fella. You just wanted him to be an arsehole, but he wasn't. So, obviously he knocked us out in 2011 in Marseille in the quarters. Then 2003, I was in that game against England. But actually in Twickenham, well, we still call it Twickenham, for that's the grand final for the Wallabies, for us.
Yeah, so you touched on Johnny there. You've been pro now. I don't want to say this out loud, but 23 years. Who would you put in that top tier bracket physically that you've played against? Who's the toughest opponent, do you think, in all that time?
It's hard really to say, like, physically, because I never played like a physical kind of style. I always thought New Zealand, with the back row that they had, always put a lot of pressure on me as a 10, and they were the people that you'd play more consistently. I think Jerome Kino is probably someone that doesn't get the accolades that he deserves. I thought, he was immense for them, and just even his kick pressure, trying to get out of the 22, small things that he'd do to kind of just make his presence felt. He was always there. Skulkberger was kind of like the back rowers that you would feel heat off the back of a line out or trying to kick out of your end, that kind of tested me the most. But I think physically as a centre, obviously Martin Onu was up there. I played him a lot of times. Just his ability to break a tackle, but his speed for such a big man. It's more intellectually, like I thought even, DC, Dan Carter, everyone obviously talks about how good he was, but just the way he could adapt in a game, and you'd have a game plan, and it just forces you to then think during the game. So just intellectually, the All Blacks were probably the team that I played as consistent as anyone else. So they're probably the ones that first come to mind.
I've got to tell you then, when you said DC, I saw his eyes light up, and then you went Dan Carter, and he just had this little moment where he sucked out. Sorry about that.
The ordinary DC, not the real DC, The real DC, whenever we play Harlequins, I knew, all right, that's a game I don't want to play. I'd fake an injury and I'd stay home.
Oh, what a boy. What a boy. My mum's favourite DC is Dan Carter. So I think he's everyone's favourite DC. Gits, where is this current Australia side at? I'll be honest, I'm a little bit nervous this weekend because I think everybody's almost writing this Australia side off. Like you say, they brought in a superstar. I think they're going to come to these Northern Shores massively with something to prove, but I think they're going to take a big scalp. Where are this Aussie side at, and can you see some real potential in this team?
Yeah, massively. I think you look at their performance. I think there was one game against Argentina in Argentina where the wheels just fell off, and that's probably the one game that everyone still looks at like they got beat by 50, and the week before we were able to beat them by a point. So just the inconsistencies in performance is a concern, but it's normal for a young team. Like, yourself, DC, with young players, you're not going to get the consistency. You're going to get a 10, and then you get a 2. With the experienced players, you'll probably get a consistent 7, so you know what you're going to get. So with this group, I'm similar to you. I don't know what to expect. I'm wary of England. I think they've improved dramatically, even in their attack shape. The way they were able to have different options of forward players, the way they were playing with that little pod, you could play inside, outside, and even those dump balls out the back to Marcus Smith, giving him a lot more space, and they just seemed a lot more threatening with the ball. They didn't score as many tries as New Zealand, but I still thought that they looked really threatening with the ball. But I think the inclusion of Samu Karevi, Will Skelton from La Rochelle, Taniela's had now a nice build-up into this tour, fitness-wise. So I just think that we're building nicely, and I'd love to see, obviously, I'd love to beat England, but I think the tour for me, to win 3 of the 4 tests would be a great stepping stone, I think, for the British and Irish Lions next year, to build momentum, to build any type of interest around it, because I think at the moment everyone thinks that they're going to come next year and just beat us and it'll be over after 2 tests, So I just love to see it go to a decider. And this is where this end of season tour, I think, will build a lot of confidence, but it'll also just gain a bit of traction and get more interest around this tour next year.
It's on that defensively, you must have had some coaches who straight away, regardless of what you did as a smaller fella, regardless, they go in, he's a liability, which you were never a liability, but which coaches tried to sort of put that on you, sort of use it as an excuse maybe to not pick you at times, or certainly starting out, anybody pointing at you saying...
Well, the real DC, you'd like this answer, but it's Eddie Jones. So there's been a couple of snippets of yours that have come out recently, but Eddie, when I first came in, he was like, why am I picking Elton Flatley ahead of you, mate? So, you know, I don't know, I think he obviously passes well and he does this. No, mate, defence. You got to defend better, mate. And then he'd just put me in a channel and send all the boys down to me after training. Like, these are blokes that normally, if you're going up, if he's running straight at me, I'm doing something differently. I'm going to go high and wrestle him down. But this was something where he just tried to, I think, kind of test my character and my toughness a little bit early on, which was normal back then. So it was Eddie. Eddie really kind of pointed out that every week you're going to be the target, which I kind of knew anyway. So, yeah, it was probably Eddie was the one that really pointed it out for me. But then from there, I knew, because when you draw up a game plan, you look through the team sheet, the smallest fella, and you're going to go at him. He may make tackles, but you're going to get a quick ball, or he may make 9 of them, but the 10th he'll miss. So you just got to keep trying to wear him down. So I knew it was coming.
Oh, mate, that's music to our ears on this show. Look at him. He's smiling away there now.
When you read the book, you'll see that there is a balance. Obviously, at the moment, it's very heavy of the negatives because they're trying to get it
flying off the shelves. I can't get my hands on a copy, so I'm just going to read those little snippets.
And the one thing that I loved about you, Gits, is the fact that you did your stuff on the pitch, but you were an unbelievable character, which I think more characters going out in the game annoyingly, but you had a great time off it as well. And they're the type of players that I respect and love the most, who made the game look fun and look like you're enjoying it when you're playing it. So, mate, we really appreciate your time coming on Hits Different.
No worries, thank you.
Best of luck with Coco. You guys are absolutely smashing it. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you're watching Gits and the boys do their thing down under, because it's a brilliant show.
Following the massive success of last show's Debatable, it is backed by popular demand. Tone, peace. I'm going to read you a statement, and then I would like your agree or disagree and some reasons why. Playing on the wing is the easiest position in rugby. Strongly disagree.
Oh, wow. You're on the joke team.
He's not moved. He's not
seems
touched
like
it
it's in a
yet.
nice position.
All right, let me just...
So,
Strongly
Okay.
disagree. Give us some thoughts as to...
I think that most people don't understand how hard it is to defend on the wing. You have a lot of people running down your channel, a lot of decisions to make, and more often than not, if there's a line break or an edge conceded, it's on your wing. So I think in defence, it's definitely not the easiest position on the pitch.
Counter.
see, I say that I went there I'm more there, I think.
Okay.
What about, right, what can I interest you in this argument, right?
I'll throw you
I'd
the
say
easiest
10,
position.
I would say 10 years ago, 20 years ago, this would have been a fair statement. All of a sudden, like you said, it's come to here, hasn't it? Because also, like, if you don't go after the ball in attack either, people go, he's waiting on his wing.
Exactly.
Whereas 20 years ago, waiting on your wing was absolutely fine,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I would say that would have been with me watching the olden days of playing.
Yeah.
Wing,
Fast lad on the wing. What I would say for the wingers, I think the hardest skill, one of the hardest skills in rugby, is chasing after a high ball, getting up and catching it.
Yeah.
And then also the safety now, if you get that slightly wrong,
Yeah.
you're hurting someone and you're off because it's a yellow or red card. So I was doing it for them. I agree with Tony. I mean, I've played there. You know,
Yeah,
I was a
true.
bit of a wing specialist.
I remember, what was it, 2019 World Cup? Playing on the wing?
2015.
2015.
Remember.
This guy, MOM, mate.
That was huge. Trial game.
Genuine.
I was probably going to be used more as a winger than a nine. So. Cheers, Stuart. We did well though, didn't we? So, next question, please.
2015, move on.
Who would you say are the top wingers at the moment, Tony, in the world? Who would you still look at and go, geez, these guys are flying?
Yeah. Well, Cheslin Colby definitely one. I'd probably put Duhan in there as well. I think going forward, he's, like you said, he's so big, and when he gets up and going, he's still got feet and he can run over you. So he's definitely up there. Curtly Aronson as well. Those small wingers are always so hard to defend, and he's rapid. So I'd put those guys in the top three at the moment. I think England got a lot of good wingers coming through as well, though, to be honest with you guys, who can definitely get up there.
Yeah.
Manny has been class since he's been playing, and Fremo as well. So those guys will definitely get up there.
If you were building your back three, also, because you've obviously played a lot of your time on the wing with England, haven't you, in particular? I always fancied you playing 15 more, especially those early days at Bath when I thought you played more at 15 then.
Yeah.
What would you pick as your back three? Your ultimate Anthony Watson back three. You can play any way you want.
All time?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All time. Jeez, that's on the spot. I'm putting Jason Robinson at fullback. Definitely.
You're giving it to him. You're putting him above you at fullback.
Yeah, I'm not going to put myself in there, mate. I'll put myself. No.
It's your team. Take your floor, mate.
I'm putting this as a spectator, what I would like to see.
Yeah, nice.
Jason Robinson at fullback, Cheslin Colby. I think if you don't put Jonah Loma in there, it's a bit mental, isn't it? Like, and it counteracts the size situation we got going on there. So, yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Back three.
What a naughty back three. Care at 9, just full of
Shoulder balls, cheers.
Watson wearing the 23 shirt.
Yeah, no problem, mate. Go on, lads.
Yeah, that's fine.
Jonah, give me another one. Come on.
Tone, it's Australia week, which is always a massive week. What are your fondest memories from playing England versus Australia?
I think playing in Australia, the three. Sounds like you got to say it to you now. Beating them 3-0 in Australia was incredible, especially with Eddie as our coach. Like, backs against the wall thing. We went out there, all the media were giving it big licks, weren't they, saying we're going to get smoked. And I think to just do it in their backyard just adds a bit of oomph to it. So, I loved that tour, on and off the field.
Yeah. Off the field was fun. That's where we first brought in I'm an England player, get me out of here, wasn't it? Do you remember? With the few animals that came into camp, which was great.
Yeah.
We might have some clips of that.
Oh, brilliant.
Brilliant. May be shown. But there was one incident where it was a pretend animal that got you running the fastest 10-metre time I've ever seen.
What the fuck is that?
When Dylan Hartley brought in a fake snake.
He did me. I was on edge all week because we had to walk from where we were training, like the food room, through like a foresty area to your room.
There's a couple of trees, yeah.
It was a forest.
Okay, it was a forest, yeah.
And there were kangaroos actually, so they already had me on edge.
Yeah.
And
you can't trust a kangaroo.
They'll fight you.
I think.
Every clip you see, they'll fight you, won't they?
Yeah, you put them up.
No, you can't trust anything in Australia, animal-wise, mate. I'm not really with that. So anyway, I just remember myself, I think I was with JJ and Knowlesy. I think we were all close rooms-wise, and we weren't walking to our rooms, put it that way. It was like a constant, quick stroll.
Yeah.
Then Dylan got me big time. Big time.
And then we brought out the real snakes. Remember Knowlesy ran out the room straight away. Me and Jamie did hunt and death. Straight out the room, but it was a hell of a tour.
It was.
What about other memories of England? Obviously, that stands out as the Australia, but just your actual highlights of your England career, which is still going to flourish for another few years. But like, what? When do you look back on it so far? What do you look at as go? That's a standout thing for me.
I think I always go back to that 2016 Grand Slam because of what happened before with the World Cup, because of everyone getting written off and us being the worst England team or whatever, and then just becoming so like insular as a group, and then to beat everyone in the Six Nations and win in France, it was just special. This guy, obviously, the big dive over there.
We both scored a try.
That's true, that is true.
Who was the third try scorer for England that day? Anthony Watson. DK scored a try.
Was your second? Was Coley first?
I scored first. Dan Cole got the
How many has he got?
Is that scored a try. I don't know how he's got in his career, but
yeah, I think that could have been his first. He must have had at least 70 caps at that point.
yes.
Has Marler not scored? Was that his thing he put out the other day?
I think maybe Marler hasn't scored a try yet. He said if 95 caps.
When Marcus knocked over the drop goal, he was like, if you'd hit me short, I'd have walked over the other day.
Yeah, this is true.
Is that legit? He's not scored?
I don't think he scored for England now. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's not ideal, is it?
Not
no.
That's just embarrassing straight on the camera, was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, just calling him out straight to his face. Tone, it is brilliant to see you back flying. Fit. We wish you all the very best, mate. Keep doing your thing. Keep scoring tries. Let's give it up for Anthony Watson, everybody. Welcome back to Hits Different, and it's quiz time, Anthony.
Let's do it.
I heard you're really excited about this.
Yeah, I'm really good at these actually.
Fountain of knowledge of general sport. Phil Mitchell's here. Phil?
Vin Diesel. Yeah.
Vin Diesel.
Jason Statham?
No, don't give him that. That's the nicest one he's had.
Okay.
Ant's not coming back. He's not invited back.
No, Tone, that's enough. Every week we play for one of our followers. Tone, you were representing today Toby Cox.
Okay.
You could win Toby a nice shirt from our stash bin, which I'm going to ask you to dip your hand
Let's
into.
go, Toby.
later. Aki, you are George Stroud.
Lucky Stroudy.
Stroudy, sorry, pal. You won't be winning anything today. And I'm Mikey Wilson. So, Mikey, this is a shirt probably coming your way.
One of these
if I'm
days.
honest.
One of these days. I mean,
So, over to you, Jason Statham.
Okay, so we've got 7 questions, and it's really simple. We know the answer, you shout the answer. Question number 1, rugby union. Who's Australia's all-time leading try scorer?
Yep.
Drew Mitchell.
He was
Oh, sorry, I thought we had to buzz in.
You can just say, shout the name.
It's got to be Campese, isn't it?
Correct.
Well done.
Come on,
1-0.
So, there we go.
Football. Which player commanded the most expensive transfer fee of all time?
Neymar.
Correct. You'll love this one.
Okay.
Cricket. Who has scored the most runs in international test history?
Joe Root.
For England, yes. Sachin Tendulkar.
Correct answer. You were going to say that, weren't you?
I was.
Yeah. 1-1-1. Athletics. Who won the 100-metre gold at the 2024 Olympics?
Oh, this is awful.
I know his name.
Oh, this is
You know
bad.
it, don't you?
How do we not know it? He came out giving the large one and he actually won it, didn't he?
Oh. Oh my God, his first name as well. No,
So it's-
Lars.
Correct.
Oh, I thought it was who won the 200 then? The bloke from Botswana? That's who I was.
I don't know. It's
Oh,
not
okay,
written
that's
down.
why I can remember it.
Who's currently the world's strongest man?
Tom Stoltman.
Correct.
Wow.
2-2-1.
That's good.
Okay, this is our doodling section. Grab
I
your
never
board
win
quickly.
this.
You've got 20 seconds on the clock. Draw us a map of Australia. Time. That's your time. Okay, we're going to have to go. What?
I actually started,
Turn that round.
You turn that round.
I actually started to
Turn it round.
turn that
Aki, turn that round.
Well, that is actually an animal. I started to draw a wallaby next to it, but I ran out of
That's a
time.
wallaby.
Well, I ran out of time.
That wallaby needs some help. I
Let
think.
me see that. Let me see that.
No, it's very accurate. I mean, it's a bit rounded, but
That's abstract. I'm going to go to our art director over here very quickly and
That's
say
the
which
start of
one
a wallaby
is
as well.
it.
Don't forget.
thank
Don't
you,
say
sir.
that just because he's the guest.
Look at the
Anthony.
proximity of Tasmania just isn't quite right, bro.
Yeah, the scale on that's right. You can have a point for that, and well done. Okay, it's a final question then. So we're actually playing for a bit of pride here, aren't we? Because
Has he won?
I
gifted
think
it
he
to
has.
him.
In fact, is it 4-1-1?
No. This has got 2.
3-2-1. Oh, actually, you go for the draw. You go for the
And
draw.
obviously, you've got a tiebreaker question if needs
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
USA Sevens player Carlin Isles has the fastest recorded top speed on a rugby pitch. What is his speed in miles an hour? And the closest will get the point. Okay.
I have no idea if this is
3,
even possible.
2, 1. Turn around.
I think I've.
Is that not?
That's fast. And he could get done outside.
That is mental.
It's quick, isn't it?
Is it?
But he's speeding in the school zone, bro.
The actual answer is 25.7 miles an hour. Our winner closest to that point is Aki.
That makes me up. So my point has stopped Deese getting a draw.
Yeah.
It's as close to a win as I've had.
3-2-2. So that means, Anthony, who are you representing?
Yes, Coxie, that's the one.
Cox.
Yes.
And so you need to dig deep in there and dig him a jersey out of there. What's he won?
Oh, we saying it?
That's a beauty.
Oh, that's old school.
This can't be for me, is it?
19's Rugby World Cup 2005.
Am I taking the piss?
Yeah, no. Under 19 World Cup
Is that the
2005.
Dubai? Is
Yeah,
that-
I am that old. So. Yeah, yes, I am.
How miles off am I, though?
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a nice shirt that, though, isn't
Deese,
it?
is that Dubai?
It's on the sleeve.
That was in Dubai. No, that's in South Africa.
God,
Wait, you actually wore this?
Yeah, I actually wore that, number 23.
Oh, I swear.
Me and MJ.
Congratulations. Isn't
So,
it?
Toby
Amazing,
Cox,
that shirt.
congratulations. This shirt's coming your way. We'll all sign it for you. Well done, Toby.
Well done, Toby.
Unfortunately, guys, that's all we've got time for this week on Hits Different. Make sure you like, subscribe and share. Enjoy. Please put some comments in if you like the episodes. Massive thank you to Matt Giteau, who joined us all the way from Australia. Anthony Watson at his own home. He came in to see the Eagles. Great to have him back. Aki was brilliant as always. See you all next week, the next episode of Hits Different.